Hey guys, welcome back to the Red and Trade YouTube channel. My name is Luka and I just got top 64 at the EUWCQ playing 50 card Patchwork Despia. I decided to play this deck because I thought the engine was incredibly good against like the wide format that it is. I also thought it gave me the most agency as a player, so I thought it was very nice. I mean, unless you get like floodgated or or like FTK, I guess. That's like the theme of the deck, kind of like if your opponent like doesn't end on like a really unfair board, you just always you should have like a really good chance of winning, like even going second. Yeah, let's get into the deck. So I played 50 cards. So the starters: 3 Aliber, Shoutouts, yeah, I don't know, best starter. 3 Tragedy. People don't play this in their decks because like I think 1 is standard, but okay, so this deck is way different from like the standard Despia decks, because they just play like standard like YouTube combo Despia, like 20 good cards, 20 bricks in their deck. But this deck, like the general theme is just like consistency, like no bricks. So yeah, this is really broken with like half the deck. Like it also gets way better now that Quem is a thing, because like usually when you have like access to both of these, this would just get Adlib and it would not be that good. But now you can just like get both Aliber and Quem, and then your ceiling is like way higher. And yeah, we still play Adlib because it's still good. 3 Albas because it's good to draw. You also need to have it in deck. We also play Desires, so it's like completely mandatory. 3 Albion because it's like a really good upstart goblin. Basically, it's also like dark for allure, and it's like an easy sided against like decks that shift to you, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. 2 Cartesia. This card is really good. Thought about playing 3, like even played 3 for a while, but it can get kind of cringe to draw it because it's like it's not that easy to summon. So I was kind of scared to play 3, so I just played 2. But yeah, 3 could like be fine for sure. 2 Quem. This is a new card. Yeah, this just like raised your ceiling by a lot. It's also the only target for the Cartesia fusion, so like that's why I wanted to play 2. Also because of Desires, I guess. And then 1 Dark Magician because Dragoon is really good this format. I'll talk about it more after. And then Patchwork Engine, 3 Patchwork, 3 Edgim, 2 Poly. These cards are just really good, both going first and second. They're what like makes your deck so good going second, especially in the runing decks. This card is only like kind of weird to draw because if you draw one of these, you can't resolve Patchwork twice, but even then it's like completely fine, I think. Oh yeah, and also I want to talk about like the monsters a bit, because so I don't play like Merc or Kit. I don't even play Retribution and stuff. I just wanted to play like the least bricks possible because I don't think any of those are needed for the deck to function. Like I think the decks everyone play, the decks people play are like so bad. They're just like random like YouTube combo decks that can only win going first. Oh yeah, also like this deck is like way better into Ash, blah blah blah. Haha, Ash passes your turn, haha. Yeah, it's completely fake. Yeah, and then branded spells, 3 fusion, 3 opening. This is way better now because Quem exists. It's like an interruption their turn as well if you like still have it. Like if you have both red and this, it's like still does something. 2 red because you need 2 red. Could even play 3 maybe. Lost because it's still good. 3 deployment. This is like really broken, both going first and second. Yeah, I guess like Cartesia or Albas, obviously. I mean, you can get Dark Magician as well, I guess. Consistency cards, 3 Allure. Everyone already knows how broken this is. And then 2 Desires because it says draw 2. It also just like never banishes anything. Like in the month I played this deck, I've never had a game where this lost me like the game completely. Like in round 11 like of this tournament, I banished 3 branded fusion and 2 Quem and I still won the game. So like, yeah, this is really good. And then 1 God card. I only drew this like once, and I didn't even use it on Ash. But yeah, it's really good. And then I still decided, like, I still wanted to play some non-engine. So I played 3 Dark Ruler because this is complete FTK against every single deck going second, basically. And like, you don't have to kill anything because your engine is like goes infinite. Yeah, you resolve this against any deck, you instantly win. I guess unless it's like Lab, I guess. And then the other 3 cards, Nib. This is gonna be either Nib or Super Poly, but like Super Poly is actually not even that good in Despia, surprisingly, because like there's not like that many decks it's actually good against. Like it's not even good against cash anymore. And also you would have to play super poly targets for it, and it's like really cringe, and it's like not even that good going first. So yeah, because this is like way better going first as well. And also like worst case, like if it's dead, you can like poly it away, or you can like fuse it with Cartesia or something. So it's like always like completely fine. And like if you're Zoe to like kind of win. Like it was only cringe against like Lab, I guess, and like Evil Twin Runic, but against for hire it's fine. Like every other deck you can for sure use it. That's the main deck, 50 cards. No puppet. So like there's no puppet anywhere, because the same thing as the bricks. Like I don't think you need any of the bricks. So I didn't play like Bestials. I didn't play like Merc Kit, whatever, because none of those are needed. Like the same thing for puppet, because like if you go first uninterrupted, or like not uninterrupted, but like if you get to play, you just like win the game. So like you don't need to puppet lock. Like, you don't even need to cheese to win the game. Like it would only fix getting shifted. But like you can't even do it on the shifter anymore, because like there's no expulsions. Like it doesn't serve any purpose. Extra deck: 2 Jade Standard, 2 Albion Standard, 1 Rebellion Standard. Yeah, nothing to say about this. 1 Lindworm Standard as well. You can't even summon it in this deck, but like you never actually summon it. It's just like there for Jade to summon apples from grave. You could say like, oh, but how do you auto rise then if you banish Dark Magician face down? You can just like make this, and it's like kind of the same thing, because this runs over rise, like worst case if you're that down bad. This is good because it summons Quem as well, like either Abas or Quem. It's really good. And then 1 Sanctifier, because it just like comes up. It's not as good since we don't play the puppet lock, but like it still comes up to like it's good against evenly, it's good against like runic decks, it's good against cash. If they shifter you badly, like if they don't draw free shifter and you get to Albion send Albas, you can have 2 targets for this. So you can still do this under shifter against cash to like make it way harder for them to play. Also just like comes up in like grand games, like it's fine. And then 2 Chimera, because we play Patchwork. 2 definitely comes up, because like when you go second, like every single time you go second, you just make 1 on your turn, and then you make 1 on their turn. And yeah, I use this like infinite times, and most of the times when I summon the second one, my opponents just conceded because I didn't think I played the second one. 1 Cartesia Fusion. Yeah, this card is insanely broken. Don't need to play 2 because there's no like puppet lock or anything, so like only 1 is fine. The only target for the second effect is the Quem, which is more than fine, like it's more than good enough. 1 Mask, because it just like puts a lot of pressure against some decks. You just like make it for fun sometimes. Also, you just need like a fusion that that you can make with the Tragedy sometimes. So like it was either this or Quertis, but Quertis is just like insanely useless. Also, this is good timeout, I guess. Stapelia, because it's really easy to make in this deck, and just like another layer of interruption, just like free interruption. Dragoon, because it's really good against some decks like Runic, Lab, and like against Dragons, for example, just like better than Jade. And yeah, I think this is like mandatory in this deck. And so those are like 14 cards, and then I didn't like those 14 are kind of mandatory. And so for the 15 card, I decided to play Linguribo, because I saw Ibri was getting really popular, and I didn't think like summoning this is that bad. You may think like, oh yeah, but you can't Branded Fusion, how do you win? Haha. But like it's like kind of fine, especially against Splite, because Splite deck, like Splite is so bad. Like if you just don't get cheesed by Ibli, you just win against Splite. Against Cash it's like a bit harder, but it's still like fine. You still have like Patchwork and like Quem and stuff. You can like for sure play. Like it's really fine going second. Like you don't need Branded Fusion going second. I played like this can be like Lulu or like Furious or Sprint or something, but I didn't need any of those cards, so I just like play this. I summoned it once, and it won me the match. I summoned it against Splite, and then I killed him. Well, I didn't kill him, but I won the game. Like you can still even use opening after this, because opening says like for the rest of the turn after it resolves. So you can only not use fusion in the deployment. So yeah, I probably like play it again, just like safe. And then for the side deck, so like the theme of the deck is just like don't get FTK'd, don't get floodgated, and you probably have a good chance of winning. So like I played 3 draw for just like runic decks and dragon. And like Flunder, like some random like I don't know, like Dark World stuff, just like really good. And then played 3 Cyclone because I didn't want to get anti-spelled. and it's just like generically good against like Runic, Lab, stuff, just good. Played 1 Pankratops for the same reason, just like insanely generic. Yeah, I don't know why this card isn't that popular. Yeah, just like outs or rise even, it can out anything. 1 Shadow Dragon because it's like a searchable out to any of the floodgates that are not anti-spell. So like Skill Drain, Organism, Rivalry goes on anything. Yeah, it's really good. Like if you draw it, it's still fun. Because there's like infinite ways to trigger it. And for like the cards that are good if your opponent doesn't FTK or floodgate you out, tasking, because they're just like any card in the deck. This card is so crazy broken. And then I played 2 evenly for the targets because I was gonna play 1, but I didn't have any other card to like any other target I really wanted to play. It was gonna be like Dark Hole or Duster, but I thought Dark Hole was kind of cringe because I already play Linguribo, so I don't need it as a Nibbly out. And it was like useless against Cash like 1/3 of the time because it doesn't clear Rise 1/3 of the time, and also doesn't clear Shanghai, so it's like kind of cringe. So like, yeah, this is just like better to draw against like most of the decks. So I just played 2, and then I played 1 Talent because it's good going second, like worst case it's Pot of Greed. And it will also, like, it also helps going first. So I would just side like these 4 going first, and then this as well. So what this does is, so fusion duplication is what it's called. It basically copies a fusion from grave, like a fusion or polymerization. So if you get like ashed, you can just tasking for this and then brand the fusion again. Yeah, you can also like poly, I guess, if you want, but it's kind of cringe because you can't make Chimera, or you can make Chimera but you can't use it. So this is basically just like brand fusion. That's it. Like if you played super poly, you could use like super poly with this, but like yeah, it's kind of whatever. It's mostly just brand fusion. You can also like use it on cards in opponent's grave, so like technically it could come up, but yeah, just brand fusion. I never activated it though because like I actually did not go first both side that much, but yeah, I would still play it, like all of these cards, because I play like 6 non-engine like main deck, so like these 5 going first both side. Yeah, like I wanted to have some cards to side going first, and these 3 are just like good both going first and second, so they make it like way easier to side for going first, because these 4 cards going second as well, so just like the 1 card that's like only specifically for going first. Yeah, that's it for the deck. I want to give some shoutouts to the team Rainchad, obviously, best team. Huge shoutouts also specifically to Chris and Ka for making it to Worlds. Also shoutouts to Jonas for also making it to Worlds. Really happy for all of them. Shoutouts to Ben, Jungman, and Philip for helping me with the deck. And shoutouts to all of my friends from WAF store, creation group chat, and all the people who borrow me cards. And yeah, that's it. Thanks.